Welcome to Hilary Topper on Air, the 12-year-old podcast that helps you grow both personally and professionally. I'm Hilary Topper, and today we're going to be exploring the evolution of triathlon from origin to impact. Whether you're a seasoned triathlete or just curious about this fascinating sport, there's something here for you. Let's kick it off with a personal anecdote. Did you know that I never even thought about doing a triathlon until 2014 when I went to Sanibel, Florida, and the tourism director told me about the Captiva Triathlon? Who would have thought that 10 years later I would have been addicted? If you ask anyone I grew up with, they would laugh if they found out that I am so addicted to triathlon. But today we're going to uncover that story. Let's wind the clocks back to 1970 when it all began in Southern California, where a group of friends wanted to settle an argument about who was the fittest athlete. This led to the creation of the first triathlon in 1974. But the real game changer came in 1978 with the Ironman Triathlon in Hawaii. This was founded by U.S. Navy Commander John Collins and his wife Judy. The event transformed overnight into a global phenomenon, challenging athletes to conquer the formidable swim, bike, and run. The Ironman wasn't just a race. It was a test of human endurance and willpower, drawing competitors from around the world and setting the stage for the triathlon future growth. Before we go any further, I want to thank our sponsors, the Russo Law Group. They are an amazing group of lawyers who really care about you and protecting your assets. Go to vjrussolaw.com. Vimazzi, the shoes I love to train and race in. I've been really loving their walking shoes lately as well. Go to vimazzi.com and check out my website at A Triathlete's Diary for a special discount code of 25% off. Metadyne is an incredible company for all your injury prevention and pain relief products. I also have a discount code on my site for 20% off for them as well. And Playtry, your multi-sport specialist for all your triathlon needs. They have so many opportunities for franchising. If you love the sport of triathlon, check out playtry.com and learn more about opportunities to get your own shop. The 1980s and 90s were pivotal for triathlon. As the sports gained momentum, media coverage helped propel it into the limelight. Televised events showcased the grit and determination of athletes, captivating audiences globally. Sponsorships poured in and triathlons began sprouting up worldwide. Iconic events like the Nice Triathlon and World Triathlon Championships played a significant role in its popularity. It wasn't long before triathlon became synonymous with endurance and athletic excellence. I think it was in 1982 when Julie Moss competed in the Ironman Triathlon for her college senior research project. She competed in a grueling 140.6-mile combination of swimming, biking, and running in one event. She was in the lead. At 15 feet before the finish line, she watched her rival pass her, and 30 seconds later, she crawled across the finish line, inspiring millions of people. I hadn't heard about Julie back then, but as soon as I started getting into the sport of triathlon, I quickly learned about her story and eventually read her book, Crawl of Fame.
Year-old Julie Moss, the former college student from Los Ojos, California, had moved ahead of Pat Hines.
Moss came to the Ironman as a college student, just trying to get a degree. No one could have imagined she'd find herself in the lead so late in the race.
Hey, guys! Find out how far back she is for me.
The she Moss was asking about was Kathleen McCartney, who was in second place in the women's event, nearly 20 minutes behind Julie when the marathon began. As night fell in Kailua Kona, an exhausted Julie Moss was clearly in trouble. Quickly back on her feet, but again her body said no more. Moss would walk methodically down a Leahy Drive, now just a few hundred yards from the finish line. Just 30 yards from victory, Moss fights against a body that is shutting down. ABC's cameras captured this drama. As Moss struggled trying to balance as if on an earthquake, her worst fears were realised as Kathleen McCartney runs past her into first place, just yards from the finish. Unsure of her position and what had happened, McCartney had to be told she'd won by race volunteers at the finish. Moments later, Julie Moss crawled to the finish line in one of the most memorable moments in the history of ABC's Wide World of Sports. Millions of Americans watched mesmerized by Moss's courage and determination. Everyone who saw it was moved.
And if you haven't read it, you definitely should. It's a great book about motivation and inspiration. Triathlon's accessibility also expanded with local races, encouraging more people to participate, further cementing its place in the sport world. When I first started triathlons in 2015, I was not an athlete by any means. I cut gym, I wasn't athletic, but the thought of doing something that was so outside my wheelhouse made me excited. And after the first triathlon in Captiva, I was hooked. I couldn't get enough of them. The thought of swimming, which I had to learn from scratch, biking, which I also had to learn from scratch, and running, which I knew very little about, thrilled me. It wasn't until I put the whole thing together that I realized that triathlon was much bigger than all of us, and they needed to be respected. A lot of people think, oh, what's the big deal? I'll sign up for a half or full Ironman, and then realize that it's not an easy feat. Gwen Jorgensen was and still is my hero, as well as Julie Moss. Gwen won the 2016 Olympics for triathlon. That was so incredibly exciting, watching her fly through the sport. I think that she also pushed her boundaries and showed the world that anyone could do this despite their fears. In my new book, which will be coming out in probably 2016, I interviewed Gwen, and she told me about her fear her fears that she had on the bike. I had very similar fears. By talking with her and reading her book, Gwen Jorgensen, USA's first Olympic gold medal triathlete, which was published by Meyer and Myers Sports Publishing, you will be enlightened by her. She talks about how she went on a motorcycle fast down a mountain, and that helped her. It also helped me by just reading about it. The rise of triathlon has had a profound impact on the fitness community. It's not just about competing, it's about transformation. Triathlon clubs have emerged everywhere, fostering camaraderie and support among athletes. The sport has inspired new training methodologies and even lifestyle changes. I do want to make a note here that not all triathlons are associated with Ironman. There are so many amazing race companies out there, including Event Power Long Island, Epic Races, Alpha Win, Integrity Multisport, and the list goes on and on. Don't poo-poo those smaller races. They are tough and they are inspiring. Once you do a sprint, you are a triathlete. You don't have to be an Ironman or do a half Ironman to be a triathlete. A lot of people have that misconception, and I want to make note that that's not the case. I mean, so many people come up to me and say, "Are you an Ironman?" The other thing to note here is that many of these smaller race companies do put on 70.3 races and also 140.6 races. These races are also known as half distance and full distance races, especially if they are not Ironman branded. It's amazing when I go into the open water and see so many familiar faces, or when I go to an event, I feel like it's a big party. I know so many people, and people I don't know, I meet either in transition or on the course or even at the after party. It is so amazing to feel so connected with these people. The other thing that's incredible is that professional triathletes are approachable. I have friends who swam in the Olympics and friends who've competed in Kona, as well as professional triathlete friends. It's pretty cool that you have that opportunity to talk to so many amazing people in the sport. I've also read so many amazing books on people who have transformed their entire lives by doing a triathlon and realizing that anything really is possible. When you do a triathlon or any sort of endurance event, you push beyond the limits and discover your true potential. Fast forward to today, and triathlon is more dynamic than ever before. Technology plays a huge role with the advanced gear and apps helping athletes optimize their performance. Social media has also connected the global triathlon community, allowing for the sharing of tips, stories, and support. Triathlon is not just a sport, it's a lifestyle embraced by millions. I love looking at Strava and seeing what my friends and acquaintances have done. It's so inspiring to me. As we look to the future, triathlon will undoubtedly evolve, shaping the fitness landscape in exciting ways. As we wrap up, let's recap the fascinating journey of triathlon. From humble beginnings in the 1970s to its current status as a global sporting phenomenon. Triathlon's evolution is a testament to human endurance and passion. We encourage you to share your own triathlon experience or aspiration to us. Stay tuned for our next episode, Until then, thank you for tuning in to Hilary Topper on Air. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Connect with us on social media to keep the conversation going. Also, if you have a topic in mind, please let us know at hilarytopper@gmail.com. That's Hilary with one L. Until next time, keep pushing your limits and discovering new adventures. Special thanks to our sponsors, Vamazi, Metadyne, and Playtry. Go to my website, atriathletesdiary.com, and click on discounts to get discounts from these amazing companies. My cover page has all the sponsors there, and you can find out more information about each one of them. If you want more information on this show or any other show, visit our website at atriathletesdiary.com, hilarytopper.com, or you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Alexa, Apple Podcasts, you name it. We're out there. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.